Welcome to Beholder's Eye, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons epic fantasy adventure. My name is Alex, and I'll be your host and Dungeon Master. On the Great Isle, it is a time of religious wars, imperial domination, and an ancient evil reborn. Only one crew can save the world from utter destruction. They are
Maugraine Silverbeard, Paladin of St. Eligius.
Zalara of Tremez, Wandering Elven Monk.
Garin Kelsey, High Elf Bladesinger.
Do that. Simic Hybrid Rogue Warlock.
Who wants to let us know what happened last episode?
Okay, so last episode, we were in I think we decided it was the ethereal realm, and we were in the middle of battling some shadowy undead something that were holding Kazdrax down. We managed to defeat them all, and they'd all dropped their chains, and we ended up freeing Kazdrax. And Kazdrax then took Hibonite, and they just kind of disappeared, I think. I'm not really sure what the rest of us saw. But to Hibonite, Kazdrax took him aside and basically said he needed to get back to our planets, into our plane, and he didn't have a body to inhabit anymore, and gave Hibonite the option of, what do you want to do? And Hibonite volunteered to be the body of Kazdrax. So Kazdrax inhabited Hibonite's body and changed him into a more dragon-esque form, and then walked us out into the outside of the island, I guess. And then there we met the new person who is going to be joining our group, because Kazdrax, as Kazdrax put it, what do we call him? Anyway. Hibidrax. Kazdrax. So we had him come and give us Dulad as our new person to join us, and he's this elfish-looking guy with a big cape and like tiger stripey things on his face, but he seems very shy. And other than that, we were debating where to go, and ended up being teleported directly into the middle of Sin-Ilnor, which is Solara's home city. I think I got it all. There's a lot that happened.
And we're currently being surrounded by confused and or angry elves.
Yeah, a lot of them.
With weapons.
Well, I mean, we're in the middle of the city, so...
Okay, so, yes. But before we do that, as you guys teleported by the hand of Kazdrax or Kibonite, you all actually also leveled up to level 9, I believe, at this point. So, let's start. Well, Kim, we might as well start with you. What changes did we have come with Solara?
So I took another level of Druid, keeping in that feel of like I'm going home, I'm going back to the woods. It just felt right to take that. And with that, I get some level 2 spells, and I have so I have some really cool ones like Healing Spirit and Pass Without a Trace, which hopefully I will actually be able to keep Maugraine quiet one of these times. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I get anything super special other than that, just spells and hit points.
All right, and we'll save Dulad for last since he's newest. Garin, tell us about any changes you have.
So I just straight level 9 as wizard. I took up Big B's hand, which can do quite a bit of things. It could be an attack. It can be a kind of a ward to stop people from coming at us, and it's pretty awesome. And then I also took a level 5 ritual spell called Rary's Telepathic Bond. So basically, that's a good one. Yes, I can just do the ritual, and then all of us can speak telepathically for an hour.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's just it. So it's hit points and spells.
Okay. And then Maugraine, the only original cast member left now. Not cast member, but original character left. What did you choose at level 9?
At level 9, I took another level of Forge Cleric because I'm gonna try going down that path and seeing how it works. I got another Channel Divinity, so I got the ability to conduct an hour-long ritual in which I can create a item containing metal up to 100 gold pieces in value. So if I want to make swords or shields or anything like that, I can just spend an hour and make it, even just out of its coins that it costs. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
I also have 3rd level spells now, finally. And I took the opportunity because of cleric and the way the cleric and paladin work for spells. I reworked my spells list quite extensively to try and reflect kind of the new way I'm going to be trying to play him. So that will come up as we go along. And then just got some more hit points, finally up to like 75 hit points. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and with that, you all carry... Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. We've got a new guy in town. So, let's tell the people about Dulod and, a little bit about his character classes and whatever you want to, that you don't want just revealed in story. Ryan.
Okay, so Dulod is a swashbuckling hexblade character. He's got quite a variety of skills. He's to be more frontline. Hit and run tactics is what he's built around. Doesn't compared to Hibonite, very little spells. He's only got 2 spell slots. That's going to be a change. But everything else will come with time, I think.
Okay. Well, and since you are level 9, that means your legendary items also upgraded. So this is happening during the time you guys are teleporting. You would all know this. So, Margraine, right now, your armor grants you once per day. You can regain up to half of your total hit points.
Ooh.
You do have to be conscious for that.
Okay. That is cool.
Yeah.
And he has to be conscious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Garen, twice per day, any spell you cast is a guaranteed hit.
Ooh.
Damn.
Write that down.
Zalara, you get 2 extra animal shapes per day.
Ooh.
Wow.
And Dulod, we're going to go through all 3 that you get. At 3rd level, you got an AC +2. At 6th level, you can reroll 1 failed dex save per day. And then now at 9th level, you get 2 extra spell slots, up 100%.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. So you all, once again, are in the center of Sin Elnor, surrounded by very tall trees that seem to make a wall around this small, not really even city, but I guess you could say large town. The people notice you right away. They grab their weapons and are coming at you.
Whoa. It's me, Solara. I have news for, let me look up her name. Illidan?
Idolon?
Idolon? I didn't know how to pronounce that. I have news for Idolon. Please?
Give me a persuasion roll.
How angry do they look at us?
Pretty pissed.
Okay.
There's a mixture of fear and anger because you appeared in the middle of this town just out of the blue, but it's clear that everybody is ready to...
Okay, and how many people would be just kind of like around us?
20.
Okay. So I am going to cast Calm Emotions. So I'm going to base it in kind of the middle of them. It's a 20-foot sphere.
Okay.
They need to make wisdom saves. No, charisma saving throws.
Right, and this is not technically a charm spell, correct?
No, it's not.
Cool. Because they elves.
Do you still want me to make a persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay. 16. I have no buffs to persuasion whatsoever.
And I'm going to suppress those emotions.
Okay. So
fear and anger.
you cast the spell. It seems to work, and everybody turns and actually pays attention to you as well, Zalara.
Okay. Do I recognize anybody that's immediately around me? I mean, I obviously know them, but
Right.
would any of like the council members or my mom or dad or...
You notice that there's Riser, the lore guard. He's a older elf, though obviously he's older than you. I guess you say middle-aged elf. He's standing there. He definitely recognizes you.
Riser, do you know where Idolon or my mom might be?
And from over your shoulder, you hear a woman's voice say, Stop speaking that dog language, daughter.
Oh, I didn't preface. This is all in Elvish. Sorry.
Okay. Well, then you hear your mother's voice say, "What are you doing here, daughter?"
Mother,
You guys see a tall, extremely muscular wood elf woman come over. Everybody seems to have like some arms to them of some kind, but she's holding hers in a way that she has two swords in a way that lets you know that she is very familiar with them.
Mother, please forgive me. There's horrible things happening in the world, and I bring news of Tamika.
There are always horrible things happening in the world. You were exiled, and then you bring these dogs here.
Mother, and I will pull out Tamika's necklace. Tamika is alive.
You must come with me now. You must get out of the street. You've already caused a huge problem. Who all speaks elf?
Garen.
I speak Elvish.
Okay.
Nobody was speaking in a language Margraine would have understood out of Common and Dwarvish.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my new tricks then. I'm gonna burn one of my few 3rd level slots. For the next hour, I understand and can speak all languages.
No one talks for an hour and 1 minute.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Okay, so Talana, who's Lara's mother, leads you through this large town. You notice that the houses are all fairly simple, rustic. People seem to be in large groups together outside, talking with each other. It seems like a very communal, a lot of interaction between the people as you make it through. But as you guys walk through the town, there are death stares at all of you. So she takes you to, what would be your home, Zalara. Once again, it's nothing spectacular. It's a 3-room little shack, essentially. Well, not shack, I guess a wooden structure. And she says, "Why are you here?"
Mother,
You are not supposed to be here. You were never supposed to come back. That's what exile means. You were corrupted by the coin to the extent that you were so bewitched by coin that you were a thief.
I know. Mother, there's worse things than being bewitched by coin right now. I went and I don't even know where to start, Mom. Okay, so in the world right now, there are terrible, horrible things going on, and there's an evil demon creature, the Devil's Claw. I know you never talked about it, but it's nearby, and we think that one of
We are aware of Murat Hall.
You know him.
We know of him.
I fought him.
The council is divided on how we should deal with this. He seems to be taking great care of the Thalmor dogs. Last we heard, he destroyed Tuck's Edge.
He destroyed it?
And she smiles and says, yes. As I understand, every Thalmor dog was put in its grave.
You know he's not going to stop with Thalmor dogs, Mom. He wants the world. He's trying to free Anatana, which is a goddess of epic proportion who apparently made this whole world and has been chained for we don't know how long. I've seen her, Mom. I've been to her prison and I've seen where her chains are getting broken. And that's what Murat Hall is doing.
She stares at you, says, well, I'll have to get the council together. She looks at Garen and says, is this your man?
She wishes.
You and parents, Alex. Oh my God. Well, okay. So this is my traveling party. Garen is an elf, as you can see. And Margraine is a.
You say halfling.
Dwarf. He comes from the Dwarven city of I can't remember the name of it.
Durnholm.
Thank you. He comes from the Dwarven city of Durnholm. And yeah, you need to change your name, Ryan. You're not Hibonite anymore. Dulad, thank you. And this is Dulad, and we were all sent here directly. The reason we appeared where we did was because there is another god named Kazdrax, who is a dragon. Good lord, I sound insane. There's a dragon god of fire who was able to teleport us directly into Sinulnor, which is the only reason I came.
That's the only reason you could be here.
Yes, I know.
You know, the way was taken from your mind when you were exiled.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to it to do right now. All right, you and this man here, and she looks at Dulod, says, I'm not sure what you are.
Him saying that, Dulod just looked really nervous and down at his feet. He doesn't like confrontation at all.
He is
She
an
looks-
elf of some sort.
She looks at Dulod's heavy cloak and says, what are you hiding under that cloak?
The pains of my past.
And she gives you a hard eye, looks you up and down. We'll see about you. You don't smell like an elf. And then she looks down at Margraine, and she just spits in front of you.
And I'll say in perfect Elvish, that wasn't very nice.
And then
Dulod
she
will
looks
start cleaning. Taking it away.
and she
That's
looks
how
at
you use it offensively.
Talana looks at you, Zalara, and says, you trained it to speak. How cute. Stay here. I must get the council together.
Well, they
She
didn't
is
kill
so
us on
lucky
sight.
I'm not Hibonite. She's so lucky I'm not Hibonite anymore.
So
Mhm.
she leaves.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to endure this.
Your mom's delightful, Zalara.
She's not nearly as nice as yours was.
It's okay. We'll make friends.
Well, that's the best joke I've heard all day. If you
And
can
why
get
are-
along with her at all, I will be impressed.
I'll get
So,
it.
what is the plan?
So,
Not be executed by being somewhere we're not supposed to be.
yeah.
I like that plan.
So normally, as you can tell as we were walking through, there's nobody but elves here. And the forest actually is built in such a way that you cannot find Sinonor unless you have the way in your mind and the forest accepts you. So I didn't know that we'd be able to make it, basically.
What about getting out?
We'll cross that bridge when we get that far. Oh,
Wonderful. Back to our old tricks, I see.
Is there anything you can tell us about the council?
yeah. Pull up my note.
Well, good news. We've made it past one council previously, so.
This is a little different. I've never really talked about my home. So we don't really do commerce.
Mhm.
We
Or
just-
other people, or
Yeah.
anything, it looks like.
Well, I mean, we have our ways and we are protected, and the people of this town are not affected by the ways of the world, generally speaking. For me to even have wanted to leave was unacceptable in my mom's eyes, and I didn't actually have permission when I did take off. So when I came back with what I thought was Tamika's body, they kind of banished me almost on sight. The fact that they didn't kill me was mercy.
What about this stealing?
Oh yeah. So when I was in FOWeir, after I left here to go, and I wanted to see the world, like I've been pinned inside these trees my entire life, and there was a party on the edge, and I was out trying to patrol the woods to make sure that everybody was safe, as that's what we do. That's what my mom was in charge of. And there was a party of adventurers that were apparently coming to Sin or trying to. They wouldn't have made it. But when we as elves on patrol see that, we're supposed to take care of them. We're supposed to take them out and not let them basically leave with any knowledge of anything they may have seen. But there was this one half elf. He was charming, and he just talked to me. And my patrolling party killed the rest of them. And it was just him and I. And somehow we both survived, and I let him go. My mom was so pissed. But I let him go, and it got to me, and I couldn't think of it. And so I tried to convince my mom I needed to go hunt him down and make sure that he didn't have any idea, didn't know we were here. And she didn't allow it. But I couldn't leave him alone. So I went, and Tamika had already left a while before me. And I found her in FOWeir, and she had already made friends, and the friends she had made were kind of a thieves crew. But my dad makes really beautiful jewelry, and I tried to do that when I was here, and I wasn't very good. But when we got there, I was able to make jewelry so much better than most of the people in the town. And so we would take things from the rich, and we would refashion the jewelry and sell it, and then we would give that money to the orphanages in town, or there. we were trying to be good. I was trying to be good. I guess Tamika not so much.
Yes, but right now we don't have to worry about Tamika. She's back in Kalendor, so...
But her story isn't going to go well here. As you heard, thieving is unheard of. Like, we share everything. There's no need to be thieves. There's no need to worry about who owns what.
As you said, Calendar, Dulad's head peeked up for a second and immediately went back down.
Yeah. Well, not everything has to make it out into the open immediately. There's a much more pressing concern right now, which is Marat Hall.
Right.
I know your mom was talking like we're different from you, and we are, but in the end of the day, to Marat Hall, we're all children of dirt.
Yeah.
And,
Children of dirt. I need to remember. So the council that they're speaking of, there are, it's basically all of the elders of our group. So there's 5 of them, the 5 eldest of us, and they can basically decide our fate. If they're split, that's good. We may have a chance.
yes. Well, we can talk to them. We can make them understand.
You can't talk. It's
we'll see.
You heard my mom. She barely listens to me. You're not an elf. You don't look like a dwarf to most people. No offense.
It's okay. We'll reforge them.
In what way, Margaret?
Turn enemies to friends, evil to good.
Good.
We'll make the best of men.
Good. So what will this council decide? What to do with us? Or are they just deciding what to do about Marat Hall?
They decide everything. They were the ones who exiled me in the first place.
They seem kind of like dicks. Why are we trying to help them?
We're trying to get them on our side, aren't we? Trying to get them to help us against Marat Hall?
I guess so.
What do we do if they decide to dispose of us?
We will dispose of them. Well, we will run away and
You
dispose of whoever needs to be.
You've just met us, Dulad, but we're good at not being disposed of.
For now, yes.
100% success rate.
So far.
By the way, I have been working on something. Give me literally a minute, and this possibly could help in our trial.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit down and start doing the ritual for Rary's telepathic bond, so that we can all speak incognito.
Nice.
So.
And Margarine's gonna turn to Dulad. Dulad, we've just met, but it seems like it's important right now. What are you?
I used to be an elf, and as he says that, he'll shrug off his cloak and reveal 2 crab claws coming out of his back along his arms.
What?
I screw up my ritual as I look at you. And I say, wonderful. What? That is
It is not
amazing.
wonderful.
What do you mean?
The process that brought these to my back was painful and horrifying, and the use of them has been equally bad.
Yes, but look at you now. You are beautiful.
It is nice of you to say, but I am considered a failure.
Well, not in my book.
Okay, well...
I'll get back to the ritual. So
He'll scurry and get his cloak back over him.
I appreciate the answer, but let me explain my question a little bit more. Regardless of what you are on the outside, what are you on the inside? An elf? Something else? That's what will matter to these people.
It's a hard question to answer. I've never been fully in an elf community before. A lot of my life has been in a mixed community, I guess is best to say.
Okay.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to survive.
Okay.
that is good to know, because we might have to.
I hope it doesn't come to that.
I mean, it's been a weird 6 hours seeing a god dragon thing, and then being in a load of elves.
It doesn't get any less weird. So, hi, I'm Margarine. Been weird for about 2.5 months now.
He'll reach out to shake your hand. He will ask, "You're not the same as other dwarfs I've seen. You're more similar to halflings I've met in the past."
Yeah, I'm Margarine Silverbeard. I'm a paladin of Saint Eligius. My mom is a dwarf. My dad is a dwarf. My siblings are dwarves, and so am I.
Okay. Yeah. Still has his
As
hand
I
up to
said,
shake.
it doesn't matter what's on the outside.
Okay.
All right. So
All right, so I'll finish up my ritual and I'll just start speaking in everyone's mind. It's like, all right, we can talk privately from now on for an hour.
Dude, that starts to freak the hell out.
Well,
It's really agitated and jumpy.
okay, I'm gonna
Margain's
in real
gonna-
life or speaking. I'll say, I am sorry, my friend. I forgot. You do not know how we do things.
Margain's gonna reply in a single sentence, thinking this is message.
Okay. So this is different in message. We can speak freely.
Okay.
The
that
four
might
of
be
us.
Very useful.
Yes,
We can. Oh,
it is like message, but we just keep going.
Okay.
weird.
And how long does it last?
An hour.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a thing to keep our minds on though is just because we're speaking in our heads, that does not mean that people are not going to look at us weird if we stop speaking altogether. So, if we're in the middle of a council and they're trying to decide on whether or not to execute us, we should probably talk to them also.
Yes, of course.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Dulad, are you unfamiliar with magic?
Not magic, but I've not had this experience before.
Neither
Well,
have I, for what it's worth.
yes, it is new to me as well, but nothing to be afraid of.
It is worth noting to you guys, you don't see any weapons on Doolad at all, because I haven't said that before now.
Okay.
Oh, good question. In case it comes up and we do have to maybe run for our lives. What do you do? Hibonite, he used to like throw a lot of magic. I don't know so much anymore, but I hit things with this and I'll lift up my hammer. She runs really fast and then falls over. He does crazy things. He makes things slippery a lot. What do you do?
I can get in close in a situation out quite quickly, and he'll brandish his hand to the side and summon his rapier, which you'll see is a stunningly exquisite blade that the handle guard is all gold and silver inlay and pearls and a dark, deep sapphire in the center, and a long blade with platinum and gold inlay wrapping around it, looking way fancier than it should be in his hands. And then he drops it and disappears as well.
Wow.
That's a trick.
And some very nice weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like something my dad could have fashioned.
Yeah.
Is your father still around, Zilara?
As far as I know, unless something happened while I've been exiled.
Is he on the council?
No. Men generally are not, but he's too young anyway. Oh, wait, no, we do have one man on the council. That's right.
Talana comes back. She says, all right, we have an impromptu meeting of the council. None of the members are happy about this. And she looks dead at you, Zalara. Follow me.
All of
And
us?
she, yes, we're not leaving these creatures to wander about the town, especially that little troll over there.
Margaret will give her a big smile.
I can't ever tell if they're smiling or if they're upset.
You'll know when I'm upset.
Cute. And so she leads you through the town, unless you guys are gonna not follow.
Following.
No, we'll go.
So she leads you through the town, and you see a very large group of trees, very thick, in a very tight circle. First glance, they just look like trees, and then upon second look, you realize that they have faces and arms. And as you approach, they move a little bit to the side, opening their branches. And you see a long table in there. Seems to be made of stone, as though it came out of the ground. And you see 4 people sitting there. 3 women, 1 male. You recognize them all. The male is, fairly young for an elf, maybe 50 years older than Zalara. And then you do see 1 woman she looks like an old lady, so you can't imagine how old she is as an elf. She's bent over, her face is wrinkled. And Idalon, a beautiful elf woman with dark raven hair, looks at you, Zalara, and says, "So, traitor, you have some news about my horrible daughter that you think we want to hear?"
Do you already know she's not dead?
She's not dead. We buried her. So what news do you have? She is dead. You know she's dead?
She's changed, but she's not dead. She now goes about. Adeline's a human, right? Yeah. Okay. She now goes about as a human named Adeline Renard, and she
And at that name, they all kind of look at each other.
You know of her?
Yes, she's tried to reach out to us. She sent emissaries. She's interested in opening a trade route here.
That would be her job now, I suppose. But in her travels, she experienced things that I can't even speak for her because I don't know. But she has changed enough that the Tamika that I grew up with kind of isn't there anymore. But she's still alive in one aspect. And I'll produce the necklace. She wanted you to know that she still remembers you.
And Eidolon's eyes grow wide. She grabs it and looks at you. Well, this is something to think about. And a beautiful blonde elf woman speaks up. She's stunning. I mean, all elves are fairly attractive, but she's incredibly stunning. She says, "This is all very touching, but she would have been exiled had she lived, and you were exiled, Zalara. And why did you bring these, at best, heathens and this cur," in reference to Margarine, "into our midst?"
You threw me out of my family, out of what I knew.
You threw yourself out of your family. You left without permission. You knew what you did was wrong. A sin is a sin is a sin, and you knew that. You were not uneducated. Your mother is on the council.
I'm gonna burn my channel divinity for Emissary of Peace, and I'm gonna butt in.
Okay.
Zalara, what you have done or haven't done is not important to this conversation. To all of you, regardless of your thoughts of me, that does not have anything to do with this conversation. We are here because of the threat of Marat Hall. He is here to kill elves and men alike. To him, all men are the children of dirt. Anat and Marat Hall will kill you the same as me. Yeah, that's all he's gonna say.
And you have to roll with Emissary Peace? I forget.
Yeah, I get a +5 on persuasion.
Okay.
On it.
Roll.
So, okay. 25.
Okay. And Eidolon looks at you, Zalara, and says, "Will you put a muzzle on that mutt?"
He is not a mutt. He is my
I
friend.
don't care what you consider him and what you do.
And I'll turn to her. And I don't quite care what you think of me or her.
Well, you should,
Eidolon?
little pup, because it is the decision of these 5 people whether you leave here or not.
It is my decision whether I leave here or not. I have seen powerful men. I have seen gods. I have seen people who are trying to destroy you. And we are here to help. I don't care if you hate me or my kind. Quite honestly, I don't care to be here. What I do care, though, is about this threat of Marat Hall.
And Dayun, the exceptionally beautiful one, says, "Marat Hall is doing us a favor in destroying the Thalmor dogs.
Dayun,
They've been
you know
encroaching
he's
on
not-
our land." What?
He's not going to stop with the Thalmor dogs.
Let them kill each other. It's not going to last.
How are you going to protect yourself when everybody else is gone?
Really? We're closer to the Devil's Claw than Tuck's Edge. He hasn't touched us.
He hasn't needed to, but
And
he
why
will.
would he ever? Why would he ever? What?
Anat doesn't care about this world. She wants to see all of this destroyed and her glory brought back. I have seen Marat Hall and Anat bring things to utter destruction, and she wants the world back. It used to be hers. She made it. She's been chained and kept from destroying it, but she's not satisfied, and she's being freed. Already there's been 2 of her, I don't know how many chains that have been broken. And that's what Marat Hall is doing. He's freeing her to come back and destroy this world, including Sin and Lore and the Red Grove.
Diane lifts her hands in disbelief, looks at the rest of the council, and says, "Are we to believe the word of this exiled one of us? One who's been corrupted by coin? One who has no regard for us, who wanted nothing more than to leave our community? We're going to take her word. Oh, she has a piece of jewelry, Eidolon. And so that's suddenly, that's something that she just spoke to your daughter who's dead. She brought her body back. She could have taken it then. We know she's a thief."
I am now, I took a vow with I've become a monk, and I took a vow of never taking more than I need because of all of the terrible things I did as a thief. And I've tried to make up for it as much as I can, and I'm trying to save the world now.
So, Dayun says, you would take an oath for one of these outposts out there in that corrupt world, but you would not live up to your oath with your family, your home, your community, the people who raised and loved you. Your oath is meaningless. You couldn't keep your word once. Why would you be able to now?
Shamhara, the goddess of this world, the goddess of the earth and the nature and the trees around us. I've met her. It's changed me. And I will wild shape into an axe beak, because that's one I know.
Okay. So you wild shape into an axe beak. You notice that the treants around all look down and get in kind of a defensive pose. Everybody is taken aback for sure. And
then I'll turn right back into Solara.
The old woman, Karana, shakily stands up and says, we must not all forget that I once was corrupted by the coin myself, and I came back, and my word has been respected for hundreds of years after. But, young exile, I am only saying this because I feel there is truth in what you say, and your demonstration of power backs that up. But for you to be accepted by the community of Sen El-Noor, you must reclaim the heart of your soul sapling, which is lying dead in the woods like any other tree. You must go on a path of penitence to redeem yourself. Is this something you will agree to do?
It is the only way to make you listen. I will do it.
She nods her head and smiles. Well then, we have already spoken. Your mother has given an impassioned plea for your life.
I'm just going to look at my mom.
She won't look. She looks straight ahead. You must go out into the wood and find the opening to the Feywild. There, in the wild, you will find your soul sapling, and you must bring it back. Do not trust the Fey, but know they are useful. Remember, in 2,000 years, I'm the only one to have made it back, so I do hope you do. I hope to see you again.
Right.
But if not, it's a very pretty place to die.
Well, I haven't died yet. Well, I haven't come back from, I guess.
In our minds, I'll ask Solara, are we allowed to go with you?
As you ask that, do that, pipe up and ask the council, are we allowed to help?
Yes, I don't see that as being a problem at all. You can use the tools of the Fey creatures. Why not use the tools of this world as well?
Very well.
All right. It is decided.
And in my head, I will double check with everybody. You're cool with this, right?
Why not?
Of course.
It sounds fun. I've never been to the Feywild.
Let's work.
Margaret?
Yes. Let's do this.
All right. And Talana leads you to the exterior of the town. And she says, the Feywild's never in the same spot. If you are connected with Shamhara, use her guidance and you will find the entrance.
Okay.
And Zalara,
Yeah.
make sure you come back. And with that, we'll call the episode.
Your family is dicks.
Thanks for listening to episode 77 of Beholder's Eye, Talking Dogs. Remember, if you want to support Beholder's Eye, our Patreon is patreon.com/Beholder's Eye Pod. You'll find some cool stuff there, get early released episodes, and discover the location of the Ark of the Covenant. If you can't support us financially but want to help out the show, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Beholder's Eyecast. You can follow Ryan, who plays Dulod, at DuffDuff3, Ben, who plays Garen, at Miro4D2, Kim, who plays Lara, at Metzgirl, and Sam, who plays Margraine, at Samslot007. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Editing performed by Sam Canary. Music and effects editing by Benjamin Floyd. Music from filmmusic.io. Fantasy ambience by Alexander Nakarada. SerpentSoundStudios.com. Curse of the Scarab, Our Journey Begins by Kevin MacLeod. And Compotech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/4.0 Sound effects by zapsplat.com. Be sure to check the show notes for further details. This work is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 4.0 International License. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/4.0/.